Hey guys, today I'm back again for another video here on my YouTube channel. I want to keep with the creative theme because I'm feeling the creativity at the minute. I'm just vibing it real hard, which is a good thing because as a creator, originality and the want to make things is something that really ebbs and flows. So you don't always feel the desire to go and make a video. And at the minute I'm in one of those phases where I'm just all about that video life. I'm just pumped. Just want to make cool stuff. Following on from the last edit breakdown with the video I did for Dean Ferris, I want to do sort of kind of a comparison in terms of videos that I used to make and what I'm making now. And I want to put them close together so you can really see the improvement, not for myself, maybe a little for myself. I want to see kind of where I've leveled up and where I've gotten better in skills and things over time and in age, I guess. Just learn little things every time you switch your camera on or anytime you crank open Premiere Pro for an edit. So I want to put them in this video and we can understand a bit more about things that I've learned over these few years. And the main thing I hope that comes out of this video is it helps someone else who is just starting out or who hasn't really progressed in skills and creativity as quickly or as noticeably as they'd like. So I've worked really, really hard at this since I was 16. Always on the grind, always trying to make videos. Let's just roll the first video I made for Dean in June of 2017. This one's Born Ready. 'Cause I done raised this So obviously you can see that that's not top notch is the way that I would put it. At the time, I was absolutely hyped. I worked hours on that edit and that was 2017. So at that time, I was using a Canon 600D with an 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens and then a 55 to 200 millimeter kit lens that also come on that camera. A Video Mic Pro, and then I borrowed a friend's Phantom 4 drone. So the drone footage was cool, but I didn't even have the skills or the knowledge to be able to edit it, or the best thing I kind of knew at that time was a jump cut and the way to utilize that. Anyways, that was the first edit that I did with Dean, and now this one is just later in that year. This is Standalone. Gotta work for it, every day work for it. I stand alone, can't get much higher. It's in my bones, the true survivor. So that was more of a Supercross edit, and I still cringe to this day that I let that video go out because it kind of hurts my heart. Ugh. A few things I want to point out. I had just worked out what Vlog color was, and that was my first attempt trying to use it. I don't need to point out, but I think you realize I didn't know how to use it. You had to overexpose to be able to color grade the footage, and I was just in over my head, and it was just not a good time. Problem was, all my footage was shot like that, so when I made the edit, I was kind of... But anyways, we move on from that. The third time that I went to film with Dean was when Richie Evans was also down, so we'll roll that video. Bit better. I was actually kind of hyped on that turnout, you know. I was pretty stoked on that outcome because it was such a clear improvement on the last video. I'm so much more comfortable with my camera. I know how to use it more. I know the basic skills that I probably didn't know in previous videos. I think you probably noticed in these videos that every song that I've used is by Zaid Wolf. So shout out to Zaid Wolf because his music is lit, so good. And just a clarification, I don't make any money off these videos that I'm making for Dean. It's more just a passion project, and the fact that he's a family friend of ours, and it gives me a really, really good platform to make content and get my name out there. So, and then the final video that I've made for Dean up to this date, and the longest, the biggest passion project, is the documentary From the Beginning. Right, so I approached Dean at the AusX Open in 2018. Like, hey, I want to float this idea by you. What about a documentary about your story? And that's pretty much all I said. And then we chatted over Facebook Messenger for a while. I talked to his partner, Renee, and we got this idea together for me to go to his place early 2019, early January, before they moved to America, and spend a few days filming and showing the behind the scenes, where it began, the whole story of Dean Ferris and his successes and losses and his family, and, you know, kind of how everything cultivated into who he is now. So that was a really cool experience for me. I'm just going to show a couple of parts of this documentary because it goes for way too long to show the whole thing.
Yeah, the beginning was different for me. I didn't actually know about the world of motocross when I was, 10 or below that. I was just riding because I enjoyed it. And it was basically just to chase the cows around, be able to muster up on the farm or go check on something or ride my bike to the tractor and go slashing or plowing or whatever it was when I was a kid. When I got the opportunity to go racing, it was 2001, and I won straight off the bat. So from there on in, it was, let's go racing.
The way that this came together is I was there for 2 days. The first thing that we went and shot was we went out to Dean's old farm, which is a topic in the documentary. And we shot a little bit of stuff out there, went hill climbing. So we're climbing up this hill that literally goes upwards, and I'm just hanging onto them, sitting on the back of Dean's bike, just hanging on. I have a tripod in one hand, I got one hand wrapped around Dean, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Luckily, I was on the back of one of the best guys on a motorbike Australia's ever seen, so I wasn't that worried. I was still freaking out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And I cut all the footage from that afternoon, and the next day, sat down with Dean in his garage. I positioned all his helmets and his trophies and things in the background, and we just chatted for about just over an hour and got all the interview content that I needed, a whole list of questions that I'd pre-planned before I got there. And we just went through them one by one. And then in the afternoon, he went riding on his track at his house, and I filmed the riding content. So all the photos that you see throughout it, of his childhood, they all come from Dean. He sent them to me for the video. That come together really well. The main part of that was building the story. So I had all the questions, and then once I got over the hour of content of Dean speaking, I then had to go through it and pull it apart and work out the main points that had to fit into that 11 minutes. Also interviewed Chris Ferris, who's Dean's mother, and then Renee Evans, who's Dean's fiance. And they just added a whole nother element to the story. Chris was able to speak about Dean's childhood and the way he moved up through the ranks in Australian motocross. And then really powerful moment in the documentary is when he says, I want to be a world champion. That is such a powerful moment in that documentary. And then it's a real heartwarming story. I really, really enjoyed making it. Something about a good documentary that just gets you right in the feels, and that was a really, really enjoyable one for me as a creator and as a creative, and then also watching it and seeing other people's opinions and stuff, and that's what you get out of cool projects like that you put so much effort into. This video's gone on way longer than I intended it to, but I just wanted to, for myself, I'll be conceited and say that I wanted to do this for myself, but I feel like there's stuff that other people can get out of seeing this kind of progression, and I won't shy away from the fact that I want to be able to see my progression when I put these edits together into one video, and nothing wrong with being a little bit proud of yourself and your progress, so remember that. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe if you want to. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers like, subscribe, like this video. But if you do enjoy what I make, I'm gonna try and do weekly videos. Hopefully the motivation stays and we get this going. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you would ever know. See you in the next video.